Hey, yo, peace, what's good? What's good, family? Shit, Juice the metaphysical in the building. I'm in y'all area, I'm in y'all atmosphere, I'm in your surroundings. Let me add some enlightenment to your area, some value to your area, you feel me? You know how I get down. Peace, love, and light. Shit, peace, love, and light and dark, you feel me? Like peace of the darkness too. Like we whole over here. You feel me? We all about that wholesome. Like, you got to embrace your wholeness. Like, we just don't talk about one aspect. We talk about everything over here. Like, you got to embrace your wholeness. That's why I say I can't just leave out the dark, the yin and the yang. And plus, that dark is that divine feminine energy, for real. On a metaphysical level, that dark, that's why they try to tell you it's all about just light and this, light and that. Like, no, like, really, on some real, like the elite, they use technology all the time. Like, for real, they use technology all the time. So to get us off our, off that God frequency. You feel me? So like they tell you at the end of the tunnel, you gotta seek the light. Like when you die, they tell you like at the end of the tunnel there's a light. That's all technology. Cause what that light is you coming back out the pussy. Facts. You coming back out that womb. That's what that light is. So when people so-called die and they look for the light, all they're doing is coming back to earth. And that's what the elite are doing, man. They are taking these souls and bring them back to earth, because what they're doing is they're feeding off our soul, our energy. So they want to keep you on earth. You know what I'm saying? But however, they don't want these high vibrating souls coming on earth too. And that's what they do too. They monitor your soul. So even after you die, they monitor that shit. There's a whole group of extraterrestrials on the moon just snatching souls. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different story. That's a whole deeper, like, y'all, I don't want to even get that deep with y'all, because like I don't think a lot of y'all ready for that, for real. Like, y'all ain't ready for that. You feel me? But what you supposed to do is, at the end of the tunnel, you don't seek the light. Nah, you stay in the dark and you add light there. You know what I'm saying? You stay in the dark and you add light there, aka the awareness, aka consciousness in the dark. That's that creative energy, the divine feminine energy. That's the darkness. You feel me? We all came from the dark. So why would you want to go seek the light? You stay in the dark. That's where we came from. That's our original essence, the dark. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole different story. That's why I gotta start saying peace, love, light, and dark, because we embrace it all over here. Like we embrace every aspect of our being. Like we're whole beings. We are holy beings. And I ain't talking about H-O-L-Y. I'm talking about whole, H-W-H-O-L-E. We're whole on that aspect. We on that frequency. You feel me? But yeah, like for real, like the elite use technology all the time. Like y'all gotta think, like everything in this reality, this third dimension, everything is reversed. So whatever they teach you, like whatever they tell you to be, whatever they tell you what to do, what direction to go, aka the media, aka education, aka religion, all these outlets, all these different branches of society that's mainstream, whatever they tell you to do the opposite. Facts. Those who are enlightened do the total opposite. So whatever they tell y'all, like they tell y'all who to follow, right? Like Christopher Columbus, this motherfucker get a holiday. All the presidents get holidays. Martin Luther King, no offense to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King's a legend. He just went a whole different route. But at the end of the day, I appreciate Martin Luther King for he was not a fearful being. They was out there marching. Like they was out there marching, getting like water holes sprayed at them. They was out there getting beat. Dogs biting them and shit. They was still marching. Like even though Martin Luther King was a part of Boule, he still was on some old like marching shit. Like and once again, like I can't knock the energy and the effort he put out there. I'm not gonna do that. I'm more Malcolm X, of course. I'm more Marcus Garvey, but I gotta acknowledge our ancestors who went out there and marched, because y'all niggas ain't doing shit now. Man, y'all out here going to the club. Y'all ain't out here marching like that. Y'all out here clubbing and try to get y'all's hair done, get y'all nails done, go out for the weekend. Y'all want to go to the ATL. Y'all want to go to Miami. Y'all want to go to Las Vegas. Y'all want to do that. So, like, man, our ancestors, even though like they might have not been all the way there consciously, they still did it for a cause, and I gotta respect them for that. So respect the Martin Luther King, even though he was boule. But you know, I still respect the guy because he like, man, he really fought against something he felt like that wasn't right, and you gotta respect that. He probably went about it a different way. I can't knock him, you know what I'm saying? We all go about shit the way we feel like is needed, you know. So definitely peace to the king. But even Martin Luther King got a holiday. Christopher Columbus get a holiday. The presidents get holidays. But in reality, Christopher Columbus was a villain. All our presidents was villains. They vilified us. They wasn't for the people. The last real president was JFK. You see where they put his noodles at? They put his brains on the lap of his wife. Like, man, like, facts. Like, they put that man's, his wife see what her husband was thinking. All she had to do was look on his lap, and she seen what he was thinking. They put that man's brains on her lap. Like, that's how they treated JFK. And honestly, I feel like Trump a real one too. I'm just being 100, but Trump got out before they could kill him. That's a whole nother story. I'm gonna make a video about Trump though, because a lot of niggas, I've been called Uncle Ruckus, Uncle Tom for supporting Trump. Like, man, listen, man, that's a whole nother video. But like, this video is strictly for, we gotta do the reverse of what society tell you, right? So with that being said, society always want to talk about, this video is about, I'm gonna talk about drug dealers, man. I'm gonna talk about drug dealers and niggas that's in the inner city selling drugs. You feel me? I want to talk about them because they get a bad rap, man. They get a bad rap, man. Society always want to deem them with a negative connotation. Talk about, oh, y'all drug dealers, y'all polluting the neighborhoods, y'all polluting the inner cities, y'all are a virus to the ghetto and all this blah, 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 this and blah, that. Man, listen, let me tell you something. The original virus was the Caucasians, because they're the ones that put the motherfucking drugs in the neighborhood in the first place. Nobody talk about Reagan and Reaganomics when he was putting the drugs in the inner cities in the first place. Nobody want to address him. All y'all want to do is attack black people for what they did. You feel me? That's crazy. Like, but okay, let me say this, right? I do not knock drug dealers. Do I agree with them? No, I don't agree with them, because I wouldn't necessarily sell drugs to harm and hurt people. That's not what I do. I'm a righteous soul. I'm a righteous being. I don't go around hurting people. I'm an all-loving being. So what I want to do is install health and wellness and positive energy and loving energy into the souls of others. That's not what I do. However, I do not knock drug dealers. For real. Like, who the fuck would have worked for these corporations anyway? Man, great-grandma, great-grandpa, your grandma, grandpa be working for these corporations their whole life. Where the fuck they at? A lot of them ain't got shit. Motherfuckers putting all their soul, time, and energy into these corporations for their whole lifetime, and they ain't got shit to show for. You feel me? They ain't got shit to show for. That's why I don't knock drug dealers for what they do. You know what I'm saying? I would go about it a different way, but I don't knock them. A lot of these drug dealers are just lost souls. And what I mean by lost souls, they don't understand the value of their essence, their original essence of who they are, where they come from. You feel me? They don't understand that, because if they did, they would go about it a different way. So we all know the government put drugs and crime and guns in the inner city so we could war at each other. Because like I tell y'all, a lot of these star seeds, indigo children that came in after the 1950s. After the 1950s, a lot of these souls that reincarnated on Earth are indigo children, rainbow children. With rainbow meaning the chakras. I'm not talking about LGBTQ community. I'm talking about chakras. Those who are high elevated beings. Those are the ones who came down, your star seeds. Those are the ones who came down through the 1950s. The elite knew this. That's why they started creating Planned Parenthoods in the 1940s and 1950s to put in the inner city. The elite are the extraterrestrials that are aliens. They already know these. I'm not talking about your white people. That's not the elite. The elite are the extraterrestrials. They already knew this. It wasn't by coincidence they started putting Planned Parenthood in the inner cities. So women could start aborting babies. Like facts, like since the 1950s and 60s, over 100 million, over hundreds of millions of babies was aborted. These are your star seeds or indigo seeds. You feel me? Like these are your God and goddess energy, your ancestors coming through these souls so we can raise the vibration and frequency on this earth. The elite knew this. That's why they made it so comfortable for especially black people to abort their babies. This was done by design, man. They just ain't do that because they felt it. No, they already knew these star seeds was coming. They knew it was to come. These extraterrestrials ain't dumb. Like, man, they on a whole different frequency than us. So, of course, they see things we don't see. Their awareness is a lot heightened more than us. You feel me? So, with that being said, a lot of these souls are our ancestors, however, they're lost souls. So, they're fighting and warring against each other. Now, you know, y'all always want to knock niggas for black on black crime and blah, blah this and blah, blah that. But we ain't the ones who created the guns, man. We ain't the one who created this weaponry to go against each other. So, I'm not trying to really hear that shit, honestly. And I ain't trying to like point blame at no one. I'm just acknowledging what the fuck it is. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to point blame at this group of individuals, that group of individuals. I just know what it is. So a lot of these souls that's coming down have a warrior type of spirit. You feel me? They just don't know who they are, so they're misdirecting that warrior energy upon each other. That's why you get into black on black crime. I'm not knocking them. They're just misdirecting that energy, and they put that energy towards the real enemy, your reptilians, your Palladians, those who are keeping us oppressed. That's the real enemy. You know what I'm saying? We really supposed to come together, but they don't know. So let me get back to this drug dealing, right? So we already know Reagan is the one that put the drugs in the inner cities. The whole crack epidemic and crack era was to dismantle the black families. That's just facts. Because in the 60s and 70s, we was all marching for peace. We was all on one accord. That's facts. If you look at the 60s and 70s, a lot of our grandparents was raising families together. They was all about man, woman, and child. You seen a lot of your black lawyers and doctors, those who held prominent positions in society, they all lived amongst each other. They didn't go out to the suburbs. This was before the integration and all that. They all lived amongst each other. So I let you know the energy was different among black people before drugs hit the scene. Like the whole purpose of them bringing crack to the motherfucking inner cities was to motherfucker dismantle the black families. That's facts. That's what's the whole purpose. And however, we started to deal drugs, which I don't knock, because once again, there's a lot of multi-millionaires. A lot of multi-millionaires was created through the drug industry, through the drug game. But nobody talk about the DEA. The DEA done sold the most drugs. Because the DEA done put the most drugs in certain individuals' hands and told them individuals to sell that shit to their own people. Now this is the thing. In the 80s, there was more unity in the drug business. So a lot of niggas was coming up off the drug trade. If you look at old pictures from the 80s, like drug dealers, all of them was rocking mink coats. You see a picture with like 10, 12 individuals, all of them got mink coats. All of them got gold jewelry, gold chains. Like you can look at them, you can look at a picture for the 1980s. You couldn't tell who was the man in that picture. You couldn't tell because they all looked like they was eating. It was more unity. Nowadays, you see more destruction, more chaos. You see more niggas is like snitching on other niggas. You see more people want to be the man. There's no unity. So like when one person is the man, you see that crab in the bucket mentality. You see one person the man, so now everybody want to snitch on that guy and bring him down so they can be the man. And then the next person come up the bat, they want to bring him down so somebody else could be the man. And the next person come up the bat and they keep doing the same thing. It's a cycle. Like y'all don't see that? Y'all don't see that? So like once again, we're alchemists. Alchemy, turning a negative into a positive, transmuting energy. That's alchemy. So yes, their intentions was to put drugs and violence in the hood, negativity. However, if we were alchemists, which we are, you just gotta reach to that level of frequency to become an alchemist. We could reverse that and come up off that. Just imagine, right? Just imagine in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, if everybody who was selling drugs, right, came together and started putting back in the community. They started building jobs in the inner city. They didn't go to the suburbs or go to these other areas. No, they started building employment in the inner cities, jobs, buildings, companies. They weren't putting their money onto material things, jewelry and all that. Just imagine if all these guys came together and start buying back the block from these other people who own the land in the cities. They bought that back so they can employ their own. Just imagine if we was doing that. You feel me? Man, listen, bro, if I was if I sold bricks like that, and if I was Big Meech, I wouldn't be buying tigers and lions and bears. Oh my, nah, it wouldn't be no Wizard of Oz over here. Like, I would be buying all that. I wouldn't be going to a strip club making it rain. I wouldn't do that. If I had bricks, I would literally find out who owned the land in inner cities. Find out what company, what realtor agency owned the land in the inner cities, and I would buy back the block. Facts. And by buying back the block, I would create jobs for the people in the inner cities so they wouldn't have to go work for these corporations. And I would give them better benefits. I would give them higher wages. Where like nobody listen. The only reason crime exists because of poverty. If poverty exists, crime wouldn't exist. So what I would do, I would take away poverty by employing everybody. Everybody would have jobs. That's why a nigga like me, bro, they'd kill me. For real. They'd kill me because like my mentality. I'm all about uplifting and raising the vibration and frequency. I'm all about like installing righteousness and love in people. So if I was Big Meech or I was Rick Ross or the niggas from Paid in Full, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know Alpo, Rich, and Ace and all them. Or if I was who was the other nigga from DC? Rayful Edmonds. You know, all these guys who, if I was them, man, I would go about this whole thing totally different. Like, for real. Like I said, I would buy back the block. And that's the thing. A lot of y'all want to diss the drug dealers, or they polluting the economy, or they polluting the inner cities and all this and all that. Like, I look at it differently. Yes, they're polluting the inner city because they're keeping a negative energetic frequency on the hood and community. So a lot of these young boys or young women, they look up at these drug dealers because I mean, you gotta just admit, like, a lot of drug dealers are role models to those in the inner city because we come from shit. We don't have shit. A lot of us never had shit. So of course you go look up to those who have the nice cars, nice clothes, all the women. Drug dealers fuck all the bitches. Facts. I mean, anybody in the inner city who grew up in the hood know that. The drug dealers fuck all the bitches. Facts. Cause with money comes fame. And it ain't even got me no fame as far as Hollywood fame. You could be Hollywood or AKA Hollywood. You could be Hollywood. For real. You got niggas that's Hollywood who legends in their inner city. Who legends in the city they come from. Like the outer world might not know them like that. But like those who from that hood, they're legends, living legends. That's Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So we can't knock the drug dealers because the drug dealers ain't put the drugs in the neighborhood. All they are is a product of their environment. Honestly, I fuck with drug dealers. I just don't like that snitching shit. And honestly, let me say this because I'm about to be 100. Everybody talk about, well, drug dealers is killing people because people are taking drugs and they're dying. Nobody put a motherfucking gun to their head and told them to sniff fentanyl or shoot up heroin or smoke crack. Nobody told them to do that. Nobody put a gun to nobody who's doing drugs, right? Nobody put a gun to their head and forced them. Meaning, like, everybody who bought drugs off drug dealers, it was free will. They willingly want to engage in that drug. And I understand that a lot of people deal with drugs and alcohol to escape pain, to escape trauma, like whatever they're dealing with internally, they use drug and alcohol to try to like heal themselves from that. I understand that, you know, like I understand that, like, trust me, like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I would never disrespect someone who's an addict, someone who's dealing with substance abuse. I would never disrespect them. I would never look down on them because at the end of the day, we're all fighting battles. All of us are fighting battles. And some just fight their battles via alcohol and drugs. You know what I'm saying? Now at the end of the day, no one is forcing individuals to buy these drugs, right? So they're free willing, making it a demand. So whenever there's a demand, it has to be a supply. So your drug dealers are the supply. Those who are buying the drugs are the demand. So that's why drug dealers exist in the first place. Because if it wasn't no demand, there would be no supply. That's just facts. Like like people wouldn't even want to. If there was no supply, you wouldn't even be able to buy drugs. So the point I'm trying to make, okay, yes, they're destroying people's lives, but at the end of the day, those who engage in drugs are destroying their own lives. They're the ones that have to wake up and be like, you know what? This ain't the right way to go. I shouldn't be engaging in drugs because I'm not getting any better. They have to be the ones to acknowledge that. Self-knowledge. Knowledge of self. But the drug dealers, yes, I feel like when you go about a negative way, when you get this money so you can just fuck a lot of bitches, like shit on niggas who ain't got money, belittle them, make them feel like they nothing, and you glorify the wealth and the fame, but you're not doing anything to uplift the community. Yes, y'all are a virus. Y'all are a virus. Y'all are the reason why we going through the same cycle since the 80s. I don't like them type of drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be 100. I don't like them type of drug dealers. The ones who continue the destruction of the black community. However, the ones who are uplifting the black community, like Rallo, shouts to Rallo. You see what they did to him? My man's Rallo bought a whole project housing in Atlanta. And everybody who lived there, it was rent-free. They had to pay no rent, no bills. You see what the feds to that nigga? He a political prisoner right now. They ain't about to let that nigga out because listen, the elite don't like that. They don't like people who are righteous, who care about the well-being of others. They love cats who destroy others, especially the ones who destroy other black people. Facts. So like when you a cat and make it rain on the homeless, you make it rain on the homeless and those who ain't got, oh, they gonna lock your ass up and throw away the key. But if you continue to sell drugs and go to strip clubs and make it rain on women, and make it rain and try to shit on other niggas and you start shootouts because of drugs, they might lock you up, but they gonna let you back out so you can continue that process. That's facts. You just gotta be a informant for them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be basically an informant for the FBI, DEA, and CIA. But as long as you follow rules and you a following cat, oh yeah, they gonna let you eat. They gonna let you eat. You know what I'm saying? That's just facts. So I just want to give y'all my perspective on drug dealing because I sold weed and motherfuckers want to come at me like I was a drug dealer. Like what? Like I was healing people off weed. You feel me? So what was the government doing? The government, man, listen, man, the government is the biggest drug dealers. The pharmaceutical company is the biggest drug dealers, but y'all want to attack regular niggas. That's crazy. You see it like the mentality of people. Y'all want to attack drug dealers, the niggas in the inner cities and the ghettos, but y'all don't say shit about the government. Y'all don't say shit about the pharmaceutical companies who's selling the most drugs. Y'all don't say shit to them. Y'all continue to go to the ballot poll and keep voting. That's how y'all show y'all love the politicians. Fuck that voting shit, man. I'll never vote. Facts, nigga. Cause what Franklin Delano Roosevelt say? FDR. You know what I'm saying? Who was a president during the 30s and 40s? What did he say? Presidents are not elected, they're selected. Nigga, you think your vote count? That's an illusion. Nigga, you all part of the game. Nigga, y'all playing the game. These motherfuckers created a game and y'all playing it. And I never watched Squid Game. You know, that shit's trending a lot now. The Squid, I never watched that shit. But like I done heard people talk about it. Man, the elite is throwing this shit in y'all's face. Cause the Squid Game is talking about people who playing the game. But the game wouldn't exist if everybody quit. Facts. If everybody quit the game wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we gotta quit the game in its whole totality. Facts. So, listen, man, if I was a drug dealer, I'd buy back the block. I'd buy back the hood. Fuck moving to the suburbs. No, I'd buy back the hood. And we could treat the hood like the suburbs, clean up our hood, take away poverty. It would be no single mom struggling if I was on top. For real. It would be no single mom struggling. There wouldn't even be no single moms, period, because black men be taking care of their babies. I'll take this shit back to how it was in slavery, before they dismantled the black man and woman. I'll take this shit back to slavery. Even before that, I'll take it back to our original ancestors, man, woman, and child. That's not the original Trinity. The original Trinity is mind, body, and soul. That's the original Trinity. But one, because there's multiple Trinities, so one of the other Trinities was man, woman, and child. I'll take it back to that. Facts. I'm gonna take it. I'll take it back to that. So if I was that nigga in the hood, I'll buy back the block. I'll be doing Rallo shit. But they'll lock me up. The way I think that, but they'd kill me, man. They'd kill me or kidnap me and then clone me and then have a clone of me, and the clone of me be saying a whole bunch of different shit than what I'm saying. That's what they doing now. And I'm gonna make a video on that. How they doing that shit now. How they taking cats or killing them and cloning them, and now you see a whole different version of an individual. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. They've been doing that. And there's a lot of movies that show you they've been doing that. That's a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just riding around right now. I'm just talking my shit. Like I said, I got to keep this content going for y'all, man. Because a lot of times, you know, I just be having a lot of shit on my mind. And honestly, I just feel like some people could resonate with my message. So shout out to the positive drug dealers. The drug dealers who want the best for their city, for their inner city, for their neighborhood, for their block. We out here shooting each other for blocks we don't own. We out here selling drugs on blocks we don't own. But if you go sell drugs, like, fuck that material shit. Because all them, like, a lot of them clothes lose, like, everything, like, jewelry lose value over time. Clothes lose value over time. Cars, all that material shit lose value over time. But you know what won't lose value? It's businesses. Especially if you're prosperous from your business. You can leave generational wealth. Clothes, cars, jewelry, all that shit's not generational wealth. You want to leave a business. You want to leave a company. We want to create our own wealth, our own banks, all that shit, our own educational system. When we ain't allowing our oppressors to miseducate us.